and welcome to our West Suffolk College virtual open event. My name is Han Colthorpe. I'm the Head of Performing and Production Arts here, and I am your host for this student Q&A with all these lovely, fabulous students that we have on screen here. So I'm just going to get them to introduce themselves first and let us know what courses they're studying. So we'll go to Lauren first.
Hi, I'm Lauren and I'm on the Performance Arts course.
Thank you. And Faith?
Hello, I'm Faith. I used to be at West Suffolk College doing arts and design and graphic design, and now I'm back doing a PGCE teacher training.
Lovely, thank you. Mercedes?
Hi, I'm Mercedes and I'm doing level 3 policing.
Thank you. Fern?
Hi, I'm Fern. I'm doing professional hospitality and events management level 3.
Thank you. Roxana?
Hi, I'm Roxana. I'm doing travel and tourism level 3.
Thank you. And Lucy?
I'm Lucy. I've done music's technology level 3, and I also have done sports coaching level 3.
Brilliant, thank you. Robert?
Hi, I'm Robert, and I'm doing construction built environment level 3.
Thank you. And Eden?
Hi, I'm Eden and I'm doing level 3 policing.
Lovely. I think that's everybody. Great. Okay, so let's have a look at some of the questions that we've got. So, first question is, what is your favourite thing about your course? So who would like to answer this first? Lauren?
I would say, especially for performing arts, but this does go for the whole college, is that everyone is very much a unit and a family, and they really do look out for each other. And I think going from school to college is a completely different environment. And I actually did a year of A-levels before I came to college, and even that is completely different in terms of environment. And it's just nice to work at something that you really want to do.
Lovely. Faith?
Yeah, I would say in the art department, it doesn't really matter what course you do. The teachers are really supportive in letting you develop your skills where you want to. So if you did photography but you wanted to have a go on the sewing machines, that's fine, or vice versa in the dark rooms. Everyone's really open to supporting each other, which is really nice. And again, like Lauren, everyone's just like family. Everyone says hello in the corridors, even if you're not on their course, and it's just a really nice knit of people together.
That's brilliant. Eden?
Yeah, kind of following on from what Lauren said, it is like a family. But I feel compared to school, we're a lot more respected as young adults, not just children. And I feel like that helps people flourish and really enjoy the course that they're on, like no matter what course it is.
That's brilliant, thank you. And Mercedes?
Yeah, I think like building off of everyone's thoughts and everything, it just like kind of builds up your confidence within yourself and makes you like a better person of what you can be.
That's brilliant, thank you. So we've got another question here. What are the facilities like at West Suffolk College? Now, this might be very different for each of you. So who'd like to answer this? Lucy?
On my course, music technology, we are very lucky to have in-college facilities such as music studios, practice rooms, lots of areas for using computers and different softwares and technology. But we're also open to using the theatre, which is in the Conservatoire East, and we've been lucky enough to use that and to set up all our equipment. So there's a full range of different types of facilities we can use in West Suffolk College. And I know when I was on the sports department, we had facilities with the local leisure centre. So with both of those areas I've been in, there is plenty of space and plenty of resources that they provide.
Brilliant. And Lucy, am I right? You work on iMacs in music tech?
Yes, yeah, it's mainly Apple products, yeah.
Brilliant, thank you. Fern, I think you were next.
So I work in the fully working restaurant at West Suffolk College. It's really good. We get members of the public in. We've got a fully working bar, so we get to make cocktails and different drinks, but also get to learn how to serve customers in a really high
manner. So we learn at a high standard, which is really, really good.
That's brilliant. And am I right, Fern, you're actually sat in the restaurant now, aren't you?
I am, yeah, I'm sat at the bar.
And there's dinner service tonight?
So due to the lockdown, we can't actually have anyone in, but we have changed it so that we can do a takeaway, which has been really popular.
Brilliant, that's great. Robert, you had your hand up.
Yes, my course is quite good. You get quite a lot of equipment. We have surveying equipment. We do surveying on the Millburn. There's a field right outside the campus, and we have we use computers with CAD so we can design and draw buildings as well.
Wow, that's brilliant. And you've sort of got your own purpose-built site, haven't you, Robert?
Yeah, we have, yeah.
So all of the kind of built environment courses are together?
Yeah, they are.
Brilliant. Okay, so we have another question here. Is there a dress code at West Suffolk College? Who would like to answer this? Lauren?
Well, for my course specifically, we wear all black. I think other parts of the college look at us a little bit strangely sometimes. But yeah, it's part of the ideology of transforming into a character and all sorts of things like that. So for us personally, we wear all black and our lanyards as well, of course.
Of course. Robert, you've got your hand up.
For the construction area, we wear a black shirt with sometimes black trousers, but otherwise they're not too fussed about it as long as we have our hoods and no hats on.
Ah, lovely. But what about PPE, Robert? Do you have to wear PPE?
Yes, when in the workshops we wear high vises and gloves as well.
Brilliant. Okay. Roxana, you've got your hand up.
For travel and tourism, there isn't really a dress code except we have to wear our lanyards. But I do cabin crew on top of travel and tourism, which we just have to wear a navy uniform, which is a blazer, skirt, and a white shirt.
So it depends which part of your course you're doing as to whether you wear that. Is that right?
Yes.
Lovely. Mercedes, would you like to answer?
Yeah, so it just depends really on what course you're on, but with the policing course, we have to wear uniform now, which is being brought in by the college as well, which is just a t-shirt with our course on it and the West Suffolk logo, and then we just have to wear black jeans or dark denim trousers.
Brilliant. So we'll all know that you're all part of the same course.
Yeah.
Faith, would you like to answer?
Yeah, I was just going to say, we don't have a dress code at all, other than obviously the lanyards, and making sure it's respectable to an extent, nothing which you wouldn't wear with your parents around and go to your grandparents' meal. But it's a lot. People in the art department get a lot more expressive. You're allowed to really show your personality through what you're wearing, just as long as you don't mind getting it dirty, really.
I think that's really important in a creative environment like yours, isn't it?
Mm.
Brilliant. Fern, would you like to answer?
So when working in the restaurant at lunchtimes, we tend to wear a more casual uniform, which is what I've got on at the moment. So it's a black t-shirt with Edmonds written on the back, and just black jeans and black shoes or black skirt or whatever. And in the evening, it's a white shirt, a waistcoat with your name on it, and a long knee-length skirt or trousers.
That's brilliant. And why do you think it's important, Fern, to wear that?
A uniform really shows a team, and as with us all looking the same as we're working, it shows that we're presentable, that we're all working to look and show ourselves the best that we possibly can.
Yeah, it's important, isn't it? It's important to have a professional kind of uniform or dress code where, looking like a team, as you say, is really important. And I assume the chefs have uniform as well, do they?
Yeah, so just standard chef whites and a hat which like links to what level course they're doing.
Brilliant. Great. So we've got another question here, which I think is quite an interesting one. How have you found studying during lockdown? Eden.
I've actually found it quite beneficial. But you really do need to have a quiet place or a study maybe set up so you can get on with work, because obviously it's very easy to become distracted. I mean, I've got a TV in the background that you could easily switch on. But for assignments, it's definitely I felt like I've had more time to get on with them. Because although working at college and having the lessons at college is I think quite integral, having the time to really crack on with the important stuff at home, yeah, it's been hard because obviously COVID hasn't been easy, but yeah, no, I think especially in the policing course we're getting on all right.
Good. That's brilliant. Lauren, you had your hand up.
So for us, obviously, our course is quite a practical subject, so it can be quite difficult with the restrictions. However, in the performing arts course, we've all been given our own visors that we carry around with us. So we're always protected if we're doing, acting scenes together or dance or whatever it is. And everybody's been so good with wearing their masks and wearing their visors, so I feel completely safe and fine about it.
That's brilliant. Robert, you've got your hand up. Would you like to answer?
No, it's all right. I've confused
Was that a
myself.
historical hand? Okay.
Yes.
That's brilliant. I know we've got lots of signs everywhere, haven't we, for one-way systems and masks on in public spaces. And then it depends on your classes. Some classes are 50% here and 50% online. And if you're in a small enough group, you'll hear 100% of the time. So it varies, doesn't it? Right, let's have a little look at another question. So we've got somebody who says they feel a little bit anxious about joining college. Is there much support for students? Who would like to answer? Faith?
I would say every single course has a learning support tutor, which is a set person for that department that you can go to and can find trust in and talk to. Everything with them is confidential as well, and they can sit and have regular meetings with you. And also, just it's nice to have that person that you can sit and chat to. But also, speaking for my department, every member of staff is so hot on everyone's mental well-being, and if you want to take 5 minutes out if something's overwhelming, they're really supportive, and everyone's just really happy to help. And I like going back to the idea of being a family. It's you can't until you're there. It just sounds cliche, but everyone's got the best interests at heart. But yeah, you do have a set person to go to, and also you have the welfare office as well, so there's another department specifically for things like that as well.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of support in place, isn't there? And also, I do love that almost all of you said it feels like a family. We always call ourselves a bit of a bizarre, dysfunctional family in performing arts, but it definitely has that feel that all the staff that I've met certainly just want the best for their students. So let's go to another question. Somebody here has had a look at our virtual tour, and they can see that our campus looks really big. So how are they going to know where they're going when they first start? Who would like to answer that? Oh, let's have a look. Lucy, would you like to answer?
When I first came to college, there was plenty of tutors and people outside ready to show you which room you'd need to get to, and also there's a lot of signage around the college showing you what blocks are which, and there's maps and also given out throughout class. You can see where you are on paper as well.
That's brilliant. And Robert, you've got your hand up.
Yes. So for the Milburn campus, you'll be sent a letter to say where you are, what date, what time, and when you arrive, all the tutors and other staff, they'll be outside showing you where to go, where you should be. So it shouldn't be too difficult.
That's great. Thank you, Robert. Mercedes, you've got your hand up.
Yeah, it just depends really on like your course as well, because you'll soon find out like where your classrooms are, and they won't really change that much unless it's for a necessary reason. You just get used to like your normal classes. You don't really have to change that much.
Yeah, I think that's really fair. Once you know your way around, it's not difficult, is it? You'll be fine. So we've got a question here. What do you think the main difference is between school and studying at college? Lauren?
Well, like I said, I did a year of A levels before I decided it wasn't for me. So I retook year 12 on the performing arts course. And I just feel for me that I just wanted to do performing. That was all I wanted to do. And at school, obviously, doing A levels, you do 2 other subjects. And I wasn't, to be honest, I wasn't overly fussed about those 2 other subjects. And I think in hindsight as well, like we've touched on, there's a lot more support here. And I've found that the tutors really do care for you specifically. And for our course specifically as well, getting into drama school or drama university or wherever you want to go afterwards is, I would say, harder going through A levels because we're taught by industry-led tutors who have been in the industry, and we have workshops all the time with industry people. So I think if it's a course where you can't really sit down in the classroom like performing arts, then I find it much more useful.
Thank you. Roxana?
The tutors are really supportive. They treat you like you're an adult, not like a child. So I find with my tutors, you get to know them more, not kind of personal level, but you get to know more about them, and they do the same to us.
Yeah, that's lovely. It's good to build those relationships, isn't it?
Yeah.
Faith?
Yeah, I was just going to say as well about it being a lot more personal, but also how it is still equivalent to what you are doing at like sixth form, because when I was going from school, I was really confused with the whole like UCAS things, because I knew I wanted to go to university and the weighing of things, but it's all worth the same value as doing your A levels, which I don't think's reiterated much, and also things like what was I going to say? Yeah, it's basically you're doing one subject that you really like and you can solely focus on that. And also, I found at college we had a lot more connections to the industry. I know the arts and design department is the awarding body is UAL, which is of London, so we're quite well known as well as a college. So you do get those connections in early.
That's really important, isn't it? Industry connections, and actually your courses are all worth the same number of UCAS points that A levels are. Lucy, would you like to answer?
For me, I found college was much larger independence from school, as we all kind of in school had your teachers, had your lessons, had your schedule. And in a way, college, you do have a schedule, but around that, you can go out at lunch times and breaks. You can figure out what you'd like to do in that time, but also with your studies, you can focus on the areas you'd really like to go on to further in life, and your tutors will support you with that and give you options. And for me, especially in the music department, they had supported me a lot on where I'd like to go next, some advice, mentoring me, and also giving me the opportunity to learn myself and not pushing me towards a certain method. So with assignments, with UAL, which is our body, we have a system where we don't necessarily do assignments, but we do more practical work, which I believe is much better for me to learn. And for some more creative subjects, it is easier. So they assess us on work like videos, photos, some documentation. But with all of that, it just creates a much better environment for myself and other people who enjoy that kind of work process.
Yeah, I think that's really important with creative subjects, isn't it? To be able to explore your own way of evidencing how you can achieve the same goals. Robert, you've got your hand up. Would you like to tell us about construction, how that's different to working at school?
Yeah, I wanted to add as well to Lucy said. It's quite much more freedom for your studying, for your research as well, and especially now with the online, you're not stuck at college. You can do your work. You don't have to be there all the time. You can do your work, and you can be away from the actual lesson as long as you actually do the work and are there present for the registration.
Brilliant, that's great. Fern, you've got your hand up where you'd like to tell us about your thoughts.
Yeah, I really struggled at school. Not necessarily because I was not very smart, but more because I wasn't enjoying what I had to do. School doesn't give you the freedom to choose what you want to do, whereas you know that with what you choose to do at college, it's actually, I mean, in a lot of cases, it's what you want to do in the future. So you kind of work a little bit harder at it, you care more, and yeah, it's just, you know, you want to do it, so you feel happier and more comfortable doing it.
Brilliant, thank you. Now I'm just going to get you to answer this one with a head nod, because I think you've pretty much all just said you would, but we've had a question: would you recommend studying at West Suffolk College? So give me a head nod or a thumbs up. Brilliant. Okay, so we've had somebody who's going back and forth between whether to do a theatre-based course or a makeup artistry course. They're asking, has anybody started studying one subject and changed to something else? Is it hard to do that? So who would like to answer this? I think oh no, hold on, we've got Mercedes here. Let's have Mercedes.
Yeah, so last year, this is actually my second year in college. Last year I took a health and social care course, and a lot of pupils then as well found that it wasn't the right course for them. And you can just speak to whichever teacher on your course you'd like to.
Brilliant. I'm losing you a little bit.
And they will lead us direction for something else. I think it is. If it's not for you, then you can change to that. Like me, like myself, I've changed to suit me better. So it's quite easy to change to.
Brilliant, thank you. Sorry, I lost you for a little bit there, but I'm pretty sure you were saying that you can talk to any of your tutors about exploring other courses. Eden, you've got your hand up.
Yeah, so I've been here 2 years as well, and I did a level 3 health and social care course. And I did do this for a year, and obviously COVID hit, and I didn't get to finish the course completely. But I knew quite early on that I was like, not sure if this is for me or what I want to do. And I know that there's a certain period when you start that you can swap, as long as you're not too kind of deep into the course and you know you're going to be overloaded with work. But it's kind of nice to keep a lookout on all the courses that are like coming up, because the policing course is like I think it's new this year, so it is nice to keep a lookout. And although like there's no harm in changing, it is nice to get the qualification and say, look what I've done, because you can get extra by doing 1 year and then moving on to a 2-year course.
Absolutely, yeah. There's level 1, level 2, level 3, in some places level 4 courses as well, and then of course we go on to the degree level as well. We've got a question. I'm going to broaden it slightly. The question is about have you been in any interesting shows, but I'm going to widen that to shows, events, gigs, workshops. So has anyone been involved in any interesting ones like that? So I think, Faith, you were first with your hand up.
Yes, so I did an exhibition, and we did 2 when I was on the course, but one was in a cafe, so all the artwork on the walls we designed, and for a month it was our artwork, which was really nice, and also to support a little local business as well. And then there's also near Abbey Gardens, there's a really small exhibition space where we clear that out, paint it all white, and we all select work to go in there. And then at the end of the year, we will do a massive show as well. So as a celebration of everyone's work, we do a huge end of year show.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Lauren.
So obviously performing arts, we do quite a few shows. We do 9 shows a year, 3 a term. So as a student, you're in 3 of them throughout the year. Last year, I was in a show called The Light Burns Blue, which centered around a young girl. And then I played a character called Ruth in the play Blithe Spirits by Noel Coward, which was just fabulous. It was a comedy piece. And then the third show last year was a musical called Bad Girls. So there's a wide range of shows, and they're all exciting and they're all different. And I've literally just finished my audition today for the new show. So we're always busy and we're always doing shows here.
Yeah, we don't like you to have much time on your hands. Lucy, you've got your hand up. Would you like to tell us about your experience?
Yeah, we host, I'm not sure exactly how many, but we do host many gigs a year in the music department. We've also expanded to possibly hosting a concert in the Apex next year, and also we've done fashion show sound and lighting, so we expand quite a wide variety of different shows. And we also have been lucky enough last year to go to an event which was BBC Introducing in November, and that was part of the course. That was an opportunity for us to go to London and to experience all kinds of areas of the music industry at this really nice event.
That's brilliant, thank you. And Fern?
So this is my first year, so I haven't been here very long. But usually by now we'd have done an event in the cathedral in Bury, which we'd host for a member of the royal family. So quite a huge event, really. But obviously we couldn't do that. So we're missing out on some events at the moment, but we do lots of like weddings and cars by the lake. We do every year. For the VIP tent as well.
Yeah, you get lots of people book the restaurant as well, Fern, in normal times. So you get lots of dinner service, and usually you are absolutely packed over the lead up into Christmas, aren't you?
Yeah. So we've just released our Christmas menu as well, so we've got lots of bookings for that.
Yeah, we also have other events that I think some of you may have been involved in. You might have been involved in Global Enterprise Week or Mental Health Awareness Week and things like that. We've done lots of things digitally at the moment, haven't we? We've only just finished filming for a show in the theatre that we now need to edit together to get ready to release online. So lots of different things happening. So we've got quite a big question here. Don't worry about thinking too hard about it, but if you know, what are your plans for when you leave college? What would you like to do? I hope someone's not burning something in the kitchen, Fern. Is that you, Faith? No. Oh, it was you. Okay, sorry, I was going to go to you next. Right, let's pick somebody else. So, Robert, you've got your hand up.
Yes. So my course is 2 years, so I've still got another year to go. So once I've completed it, I'm hoping to do a gap year. So and what I'm thinking of doing is I'll join the RF as a reserve, and then after that I can get the RF to pay for my uni.
Nice. Strategic thinking there, Robert. Very good, very good. Roxana, what are your thoughts?
I'm doing travel and tourism, but on top of it, it's cabin crew, and cabin crew is always my passion, and I would love to go into it after I finish my course at the end of this year.
That's fantastic. How an exciting thought. Lauren.
So I do TV and film auditions, professional ones. I'm lucky enough to have an agent, so I will keep going with that, things like Netflix and that sort of thing. So just audition more really when things get back to normal. But
goodness me, all the things that have been keeping us all sane during lockdown, hey? And Faith, are you alarm free now?
Yes, I am. Currently first hand as well, so I did the art and design course, and then I did university for 3 years, and really wanted to share my passion for the creative subject, and so have now gone into teaching, so I'm actually on a placement at West Suffolk College, but yeah, there's loads of opportunities at the college as well, and there's a campus right next door, and so a lot of the students that we have at the moment want to stay on the campus as well, because we do have the facilities of the university, so that is also a really nice option to have as well.
That's brilliant, very exciting. We have some questions about do you have lecture theatres or classrooms? Or actually, I'll expand that to kind of practical spaces. So tell us about that. What does your timetable look like in terms of lecture theatres, classrooms, practical spaces? Right, who have we got here? So let's go to Eden.
So with the policing course, we're based in classrooms, and we do have sort of like ICT classrooms where we have computers, so you can log on and access like Moodle and Teams, to be fair, and get all the documents from there. as within our classes. But I think sometimes it depends, especially with COVID, if you have to be moved into a different classroom for a certain reason. There is like lecture halls that me and Mercedes were in a week or two ago, and it is nice to have the variety, and it is nice to be in them. It feels quite like university, or I would imagine it to be like being in there. But yeah, the classrooms, it's kind of more personal, and especially at the moment with my course, there's not very many people on it, so it's very kind of like you can have a one-to-one, and it's a lot better than what I remember it being at school. It's kind of, you know, there's 20 people in a class and you're not really getting the, you know, the help or support that you might get at college.
That's really important. Robert, what about you?
Sorry, can you repeat the question? I've forgotten.
Yeah, that's absolutely fine. So, do you have your classes in classrooms or lecture theatres or practical spaces?
So for the construction area, so you'll have theory lessons and you'll have practical lessons. Your theory lessons will be in a classroom. That'll be you know, you'll be sitting around tables discussing the subjects and the criteria you need to cover. And then your practical lessons will either be in workshops or they'll be outside and you'll visit sites or employers, that sort of thing.
That's brilliant. So you're getting first-hand industry experience there, aren't you? Fern, what about you?
So we're obviously doing a hospitality course. We have the restaurant. So we do 2 sessions in that. So we have a Thursday evening, which usually goes, well, at the moment goes on till about 10:30, when we're open anyway. And then we do a Wednesday lunchtime, which is from the morning until about 2. But the rest is in like a classroom, and there's only 8 of us, so it's really nice and intimate, and get a good friendship group going.
Yeah. And you're front of house, aren't you? So
Yeah.
all the guys who are back of house in the kitchens have got all the kitchen facilities as well for a number of their classes, haven't they?
Yeah, so they've got the normal kitchen space, which goes out to the front of house, and then you've got a training classroom and a pastry bit as well.
Pastry kitchen, yeah, where they make the most amazing sausage rolls. Trust me, they're brilliant.
They're gorgeous.
So good. Faith, what about you?
Yeah, so we have just your regular classrooms, but most classroom is tailored to a specific subject. So like in the fashion classroom, you've got the heat presses, sewing machines, knitting machines, and photography, you've got just a general classroom with a dark room that backs off the side of it. But equally, it's not just a photography classroom. So then like graphic design might have a lesson in there, and they can use the dark room if they want to. But every room is tailored to a specific subject, but you get to use all of them. There's also a print room as well, but yeah, all the lessons are held in each different class, so you can make the most of what facilities you've got at all times, really.
That's brilliant. And you have IMAX as well in art and design, don't you? So you're working on Apple products.
Yeah, quite a
Brilliant.
few
So there's a question here about grading. How is the grading done for your courses? I can help some of you out if you're not sure how to answer this, but give it a go for me. Who have I got here? Fern, would you like to go first? No?
Sorry, I didn't realise
Is
I
that
had
a
my
historical hand? Okay, so for those of you who have I got here? Actually, Roxana, you can answer.
Because I'm on the old travel and tourism course at the moment, we have assignments, we have criteria that we have to hit for merit, pass, merit, and distinction. And if we don't hit a criteria, we can get a resubmission. We can try again, and they'll mark it again.
Okay, that's brilliant. Faith, what about you?
Yeah, literally the same, pass, merit, distinction, or we've got a referral. So you have like targets to work on for a week. So you get a nice time frame, and it also then doesn't take up time in your next project. You can nip it in the bud and sort out any issues before you move on to the next one.
And actually that goes, so Faith, Lucy and Lauren are all on courses that are with the University of the Arts London, where you get to practice everything a number of times before you get graded on your final unit. No exams, all coursework, isn't it, for all of you? Okay.
means all in the last project you do. So the whole build up to your last project, just practice after practice. So it's quite nice.
It is, absolutely. Do I have anybody else who'd like to answer that? No, I think you're all good. Let's have a quick look. So what COVID safety measures? Now, we touched on this a little bit earlier, but we might have people dropping in and out of this Q&A, so they might not have heard the answers. What COVID safety measures are in place at the college? Who would like to answer that? Lauren?
Well, like I said, for my course specifically, we have visors that we carry around with us all day. But another thing, in the bistro, all the tables are individual and they're set meters apart. So everyone has their own table. Obviously, normally you would all just sit together around a table, but yeah, it's one per table. There's lots of hand sanitizer stations. Like if you want hand sanitizer, you'll probably find it within, a few walks. So yeah, there's lots of safety measures.
Yeah, we have lots of safety measures, and as we said, there's one-way systems in certain places as well. There was a question here about, do you have a proper restaurant kitchen, which I think Fern did answer earlier. We do have a proper restaurant kitchen. We have proper construction areas. We have a proper theatre, don't we? We have lots of proper stuff.
Yeah, so the kitchen is you've got 3 separate kitchens. So you've got the dessert kitchen, and then you've got a training kitchen where there's a station for a lecturer to be at the front and be cooking with TVs behind him as well, so you can see. And then you've got separate working areas, so you can all be doing it as well then, and the lecturer will just walk around. And then I know definitely for a Thursday night, which is the night that I do, there's a fully functioning kitchen where it actually serves customers. And we usually do like a at the moment we're doing a 3-course meal, but sometimes we do a taste menu as well, which can be 6 courses.
Yeah, and you're doing takeaway food now, aren't you?
We are. So at the moment, staff are offered takeaway food and students at Wednesday, Tuesday, Thursday lunchtime. And at the moment, we are doing a Thursday evening and Friday evening as well for takeaway.
Lovely. And actually, anybody who's watching us now, you just need to go onto the website and check out the virtual tour. So we have a full tour of all the sites, and it's a 360 tour where you can sort of move around the spaces and have a look around. So do check that out. What would be really good to know, guys, how is your week divided up? So how many days are you in college on your courses? Let's go to Eden first.
So on the policing course, we are doing at the moment 1 week in, 1 week off. So we have 2 classes, one's in 1 week, one's in the other. We're in Mondays, Tuesdays and Thursdays. And on the Tuesdays and Thursdays, we have half days. And in the afternoons, we have online meetings with our tutors and our lecturers. And that's for one-to-one, also assignment support. And then the weeks that we're not in, we do actually have online classes that we join at the normal time that they are actually on, and we'll be on with the other class. So we'll all still be able to communicate and be a part of the class, but not actually be in college, which is better to limit the numbers of people in college at the time.
Yeah, part of our COVID safety measures.
Yeah.
Lucy, what about you?
Currently, I'm in 3 days a week, Monday, Tuesdays and Thursdays, and it's split between Mondays and Tuesdays theory work and Thursday practical work. And Thursdays are normally a half day that we set up equipment and normally setups for gigs full day. So
which you've been
depending
doing
on that,
today, haven't you?
which yes, yeah, I have been, yeah. So depending on the time, we do a 3 days in a week. But if it is a gig week, we do actually spend a full week doing practical, just setting up, preparing for the gig.
Okay. Lauren, what about you?
So obviously performing arts is a very intense industry. So we're actually in 5 days a week, every week, 9 till 5, just like a normal job. But I find that that's really good for what we do because it makes us grow stronger as a family, and also it's just good for keeping on top of your craft really. We also have 3 till 5 every day. We have season rehearsals, which is the show that we're put in. So we work on the show every day, as well as our technique classes. And our time split between practical and our online coursework as well. So
Lovely. Robert, what about you?
So the Milburn campus, it's slightly different. So, for instance, the progression to the construction course, there's about 60 students at the moment. So they'll have 10 students in each day, so Monday to Friday, just so that way then there's less people in the workshop. And then say, for instance, the Anglian Water course, that'll be the whole group in for 2 days a week, I think it is. And they'll do just practical stuff. They don't really do so much theory stuff. And my course, we're in 3 days a week, but we can be online or in, depends how we want to do it.
Brilliant. Great. And Roxana, what about you?
My course, we are 50-50, so half of the class is in 1 week and the other half is in the other week. And when there's assignments set, we use Microsoft Teams to talk in the classrooms. Everyone's involved.
Brilliant. Faith, what about you?
Yes, the art department is also 3 days a week. However, we also have to carry out a work experience or a placement as part of one of the criteria. So we're recommended that you do the 3 days a week at college and then 1 day a week out in the industry. But that can also be things like setting up an online shop. So that's something you can still do from home. And then you get your 1 day, which a lot of people go and get like part-time jobs and stuff, which I think is the benefit as well as not being at school, because that is Monday to Friday. You can still earn a bit of money as well, which helps if you've got to get the bus and trains and things in.
Yeah.
So.
Absolutely. And actually, there are a lot of courses who have all courses have a work experience element, but some of them are a graded work experience element where you might be, for example, animal studies do have to go and work out in industry as part of to pass their units. And also hair and beauty as well. Courses like that do have a very strong kind of work experience element. I think 2 of you have still got your hands up from before. Let me just see whether we've got anything else. I think we might be nearly there on questions. Has anybody got anything they would like to add? Anything that's not been said that they think, as a student, was really helpful for you to find out? Lauren?
I was back and forth about leaving sixth form, so I would say if you're thinking about it, just apply anyway. Even if you're not sure, there's no harm in applying, and definitely check out all the websites and everything because it's super helpful. I just say apply anyway.
Brilliant. Thank you very much, guys. You have been a fabulous student panel. Thank you for all your answers. I'm sure people have found that really helpful.